take it slow.
Alright Cubs, how's it hanging? So today I'm going to talk about the Orange Combat Survivors. Now I'm only going to cover off the Orange Combat ones because as you know there's a lot of survivors and they got me in two sections of combat and development, and obviously in 4 different colours: your orange, purple, your blue and your green. So I'm only going to cover off the Orange Combat ones at the moment because they are the most important ones, the most vital ones to survive this game. But before we get into that, if you could please subscribe to my channel to support me. So if the more subscribers I can get, the more content I can push out. It'll be a dream come true to me. If you could also like this video and please turn on that bell notification to see any future videos. I know I don't just post this game, I do post other games. You can just ignore it if you don't want to see the other games, but I am an AOZ veteran and I do plan on continuing that. But with this Walking the Survivors, I want to now create content for that. So please, if you could support me, I would really appreciate it. Now without further ado, let's go on with the video. So the first survivor I'm going to talk about is the first survivor I actually got in the game, the orange one, and that's one of my favourite characters of Abraham. Now I know a lot of people didn't like Abraham in the series, but I actually did. So as you can see under global effect, he has all fighters attack. Now before we get further into this, just to let you know that the global effects, so out of the orange ones you got 7, which is attack increase, 4, which is health increase, and 5 survivors, which is defense increase. So as you can see, they've got more attack way than they have health and defense, but they are changing and updating the survivors left, right and centre. So I'll do the attack ones first because like I said, there's 7 of them. So first one is Abraham. I believe his max percentage will probably be about 10.25%, but I'm not going to start guessing each single one that I have because unfortunately the ones that I have, I can't tell you the max percentage you'll get when you get max stars. So you can see 5 stars there is actually the max stars you can get to. I've got my Abraham right now at 1 star, which is 1.25%. Now his first skill, as you can see, is upper hand, and it says in the next round there is 50% chance of dealing attack damage to 2 enemy crews, prevent them from triggering skills in 1 round. Now as you can see, the reason why I said X damage is because obviously the further I upgrade my hero, so every 5 levels use the legendary medals to upgrade the next skill. So obviously this will change and fluctuate every time you upgrade the levels, every 5 levels. So the next attack one we have, I'll just press across because I have him, is Beta. He's, like I said, he's attack as well. And his first skill is Shield and Strike. So it says in each of the first 2 rounds, X bonus damage is dealt 1 enemy crew and own crew takes 50% less damage for 2 rounds. That's pretty handy. So I've looked through most of the skills for all these orange survivors and I must admit every skill is going to help. It all depends on your survivor's level and your survivor star level. So obviously there's 2 things you have to focus on: is your star level to upgrade the max level, and then the levels. Now I know legendary medals are quite difficult to come by, and I must admit I am struggling to get a lot of them, and the only way I can do it is through the survivor challenge, is get a few medals from there and complete my daily challenges for the medals of the last one. So the next combat survivor for attack is Morgan, another one of my favourite characters from the series, and this one is fearless. After 1 round, in the next round there is a 50% chance of dealing X damage to 2 random enemy crews. Yet again, another helpful one. As you can see here, I've actually got Morgan at 2 stars. Don't know how I managed to, I think I got him twice in like 10 summons. It was ridiculous. As you can see, his attack percentage is 3.25. So now the next attack one that I do have, but she's not in any formation right now, is Rosita. And the reason why is because I'm actually leveling up first to get a better skills and level before I actually trigger into a formation. So you can see she's also attack as well. I have only got her 0 stars apparently. I've only just unlocked her. But her first skill is Giant Hit. Crew attack 10%. Straight up. There's no percentage of doing this. There's no chance. It's a straight up, here you go, 10% attack. So that's pretty decent. That's why I'm living up as soon as I can. I'm trying to get into a formation. Fortunately, I have it at max level at 30, because if you don't have it at 1 star, you only can get to level 30. Up to 1 star, you can get to level 50. But I can't wait to chuck her into a formation. Now, onto the survivors that I don't have. Jesus. Kind of gutted when he died in the series, but you know, what happens, happens. So you can see, because I don't have him, he actually tells me the max stars of his skills. So you can see, all fighter attack is 10% max. His first skill, straight up, just like Rosita's, giant hit, crew attack 5%. Not as good as the Rosita's, but you know, it'll do. The next attack is one we have. I have 40 out of 50 fragments for this one. Is Alpha. Now just to add, I'll just quickly go back to beta and show you. Everyone complains about this wheel spin. Now I have only done 4 times this, you know, the 2,250 rubies you can put for like, I think it's about 10 spins or something. And I did that 4 times. I actually unlocked beta, which for 50 fragments, plus I got additional 94 fragments from the wheel alone. Now that's pretty decent for 4 spins. Now if I go into alpha, I have actually done 2 times 10 spins, I think it was, and I've got 40 out of 50. It's just been difficult more to get. But anyway, back onto it. So her attack max is 11%, and her skill is another straight up giant hit, crew attack 6%. Another decent one. Then the next attack one we have is, now here you go, this is a big dog. Ezekiel, look at that max, 20%. Now that is probably the highest percentage so far I have seen in the attack side of it, and that's through the attack, health and defense. So overall, his percentage compared to anybody else's in the combat side, his is the highest. And I don't mean the highest is in like just a little bit. I mean the next one down from me is Alpha at 11%. So he's 9% higher than the second person highest. It's ridiculous. Is a surprise attack, so there's a 45% chance of dealing X damage to a random enemy crew, causing a weakened effect, dealing minus 9% damage for 2 rounds. Sounds pretty decent, that one. Won't mind getting Ezekiel, but obviously the more percentages they are, the difficult they are to get. So I actually tried to get him, and if you see here, get an exclusive offer, and it's through these. So you can buy it at Elite 12. You get the fragments from here. So that's insane. So then let's jump on to health. So the first one, and probably the only one I have for health, is Ryan. Now, this was a different hero, but due to recent updates, he actually changed. I can't remember who it was before, but he actually changed. So you can see all fight health, I have him 1 star at 1.5%. And his first skill is, there's 35% chance of dealing X damage to 1 random enemy crew, triggering effect that render the target unable to launch normal attack for 1 round. Pretty decent. Actually stops him from doing an attack for 1 round. So then the next health after that, we have Magna. Now Magna is a 10% health max, and her first one is crew health plus 5%. Not bad. I like these where there's no, it's just a set additional when you get them up, instead of, you know, so much percent chance, because obviously these percentages are quite low. They're all under 50% so far, and obviously under 50% you've basically got no hope of actually working. So I'm liking these solid pure skills. Next health we have Michonne. Now I know you're going to say, yes, I know she's a cheap pack, but due to real life circumstances right now, I literally have 0 money to spend anything. I know she's only like 99p to get her. I do plan on getting her, but I just need to sort out my life first, make sure I'm set before I actually start putting money in to get the game. So as you can see, her all fight health is 10.25%. I'm not sure where the 25% comes in. I prefer it to be a solid 10 or 11, but you know, prefer it to be 10.25 instead of just 10. The first, there is a 50% chance of dealing X damage to enemy crews. Yeah, again, these chances, percentages, I don't like percentages, I like solid skills. Next health we have is the Governor. Again, max 10.25%. And after one round, there is a 55% chance of, I see 55% chance, that's much better, of dealing X damage to one random enemy crew. Not bad. Higher percentage there, I prefer that, more better of actually landing it. But then let's go on to the next one. So now we're going to come to defense. Now I do have one defense person here, and that is Gold White. Now, as you notice, straight away look at that, 0.6%. Now Rosita was at least 1.1%, and she was no stars, but Dwight is 0.6%. So 0.5 is almost double lower than Rosita's percentage. Now I don't know where they come with these figures from or why they've even done that. Basically, right now I see Dwight as pointless, but I have included him into a formation. Don't ask me why. I know it was pointless, but in the end, it's that additional defense that I might need. First skill, 30% chance of dealing, look at that percentage there, damage to one enemy crew. Yeah, again, the percentage is quite low. Obviously, each star level you go up, or each level for skill you go up, obviously that percentage is going to increase. Just like Rosita, his is max level with 30. Pretty rubbish, but I will get him up. The next defense we have is the newest member to the series, is Princess. I'm actually starting to like this character. But anyway, she is a defense at 10% max. And the first skill, yeah, again, is a set 1. Basically 5% crew defense, straight up. Prefer that. And then the next defense we have is Lydia. She's also 10%, and she also has a set defense of 5%. Prefer that. Now, this next survivor, I'm a bit confused why he's actually down as defense. Because as we all know, if you're a fan of the series, I would have put him under attack. But Negan is a defense. I have no idea why. There's literally no words I can explain why Negan is down as defense. I would have straight up put him as attack. But seriously, I don't know why they're putting down as defense. So you can see, it was all fighter defense is 10.25% max, and his first skill is, in each of the first 3 rounds, X damage is dealt to random enemy crew in each round, and 2 random crews of your formation deals X amount of extra damage for 2 rounds. Bit of a mouthful there, but that one actually seems like probably the skill I need, because it's basically doing it over X amount of rounds instead of just 1. And then the last survivor orange we have is Glenn. Now his defense is 10.25% max. With his first skill, in each of the first 3 rounds again, X bonus damage attack is dealt to 2 random enemy crews. See, again, 3 rounds, not just 1, 3. So that's another pretty decent survivor there. So now I know you're all going to ask me, what would I prefer in what formation? Now, obviously I don't have all the orange survivors, and I have just done recently a lot to my 4th March, but it's not put nothing in it because I don't have enough survivors or troops to fill them up. But personally, seeing the figures, like I said, they're 7 attack, and you can only fit probably 2 attack in 3 formations, and then 1 attack in the 4th formation. So it's all pick and mix really. Personally, the first 2 marches I would actually put in is 2 attacks and 1 defense, and then in the second formation put 1 health instead of defense, just to mix it up a bit. 3rd March, yeah, again, I probably put 2 attack, 1 health, and the last one probably put 1 attack and 2 defense, just to whack it up. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go into detail right now because, like I said, I've only got some amount of survivors at the moment. I'm still progressing through. I just thought I'd mention who has what skills, what percentage, and the first skills, so you know what you want and what to put in first. So as always, if you please subscribe to my channel, like I said at the start of it, subscribe to my channel to support me. I would really, and I mean truly, really would appreciate it. Like this video, turn the bell notification for any future videos. I'll catch you next one. Until next time, my cubbies, take care.